Hello beautiful and welcome to Makeup. If you know me well, you know that sometimes I make things that are completely unnecessary, and the latest addition to that collection is my designer egg. This didn't need to exist, but I'm so glad that it does. Hello gorgeous and welcome back to Water Cooler Convo Makeup, where I talk about the things that you want me to talk about, where I talk about the things that I want me to talk about, and sometimes we meet in the middle and I talk about the things that we want me to talk about while I do my makeup. And genuinely, I read every single one of my comments. Doesn't matter if the video is from months ago or if it was the latest video that I just posted, I read every single one of my comments. So if there is something that you want me to talk about, chuck it in the comments below because I guarantee that I am going to see it. And you never know, I may start researching my absolute tush off and then next minute we have a video uploaded specifically on the topic that you wanted me to talk about. In all honesty, it doesn't even have to be for content reasons. If you are aware of a Swiss cheese brain hole of mine, new merch is available. Link is in the description. If you want to buy it, if you don't want to buy it, that's also fine. But if you're aware of a Swiss cheese brain hole of mine that you think that I would find it absolutely satisfying to fill or fascinating to fill, that doesn't have to be for content, also let me know that, because I'm sure that there's so many topics out there that I would just be like, oh my gosh, is that really how that works? But not actually make a video on it because my life doesn't have to be content. I'm still, in all honesty, learning that one, but like, you know what? Baby steps. If you can't tell, I'm in a great mood. I am already having a great day and it's only 8:45 in the morning. And the only reason is because I get to film this video. I'm researching for this video, so much fun. Writing the notes for this video, so much fun. I am so excited to film this video, edit this video, and see what this video ends up being because you get to watch this video as it's done, as a finished product. I get to live through the creation process. And so far, the creation process has been quite fun because if you have seen my content before, you know that I am doing a series of the history of the beauty community's teas, dramas, scandals, controversies. But in that, I'm only analysing, or not really analysing, I'm only documenting a history of the teas, dramas, controversies, and scandals. I'm not actually doing a deep dive into the evolution of the beauty community, the makeup community, and we have come so far. Like, humble beginnings is a very accurate description for us. But one thing that I think, in my personal opinion, that I have found in my research, in my study of the makeup community and its evolution, is 3 distinct chapters. If the makeup community was a Pokemon, let's go with Squirtle, because Squirtle is my absolute favorite. I can definitely see from my perspective where the makeup community was Squirtle, where it became Wartortle, and where it became Blastoise. And that evolution is something that I'm just really excited to show you all while I do my makeup. So if that tickles your fancy, stick around. If it doesn't, I will see you in one of my other videos. And if you just never want to see me again, I hope that you have a fabulous life. Disclaimer, with this video, like so many of my other videos, even though I trust every single one of you, I still need to explicitly state that I do not promote, encourage, or endorse any kind of hateful, mean, malicious, harassing behavior. My videos, and specifically this video, is strictly for entertainment purposes only, so I do not want for any kind of mean, hateful, malicious, harassing behavior to go out there into the world because of something that I've said or on my behalf. We are, of course, allowed to keep it cheeky, we're allowed to keep it messy, we're allowed to keep it fun, but please keep it to this channel and this comment section only. With all of that said, let's dive in because this is probably going to be one of my favorite videos to film. Genuinely, can you imagine a makeup community without Jeffree Star, James Charles, Nikki Tutorials, Jacqueline Hill, Jackie Aina, Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Nikita Dragon, Gabriel Zamora, Tati? Can you imagine a makeup community without these big creators and so many others? Well, back in YouTube's humble beginnings, you didn't have to imagine it because that's exactly how it looked. YouTube first launched December 15th, 2005, and the expectation and intention of the site was to be a platform for people's fun home movies. Because of this, the true potential of the platform was undiscovered and not even a consideration, and because of this, neither was the makeup community or what the makeup industry could do with such a platform. So really, when all of the OG YouTube creators were posting, there was no other incentive to post except for their own personal enjoyment, and this extended to the beauty community community too. So when the OG makeup creator Michelle Phan started posting in May of 2007 with her natural looking makeup video, there were absolutely no ads, no sponsorships. It was only for the fun of it. Unless she knew something that we didn't, because it was actually in December of 2007 when YouTube announced the partnership program. The partnership program being the program where YouTube puts ads on people's videos and you get to take home some of the money for yourself. But I highly doubt anyone back in 2007 would have considered being a millionaire in a few years thanks to YouTube. Regardless, YouTube as a platform was incredibly different and had absolutely no grasp on its potentials and future. And because of this, the makeup niche on YouTube was incredibly different to what we all know today, and the creators within the makeup niche on YouTube had no understanding of what they were helping to build. The videos were simple, the looks were simple, the instructions were simple. The intention of most, if not all, of the videos within the makeup community at this time were tutorials. They were how to get a specific look kind of videos with, in all honesty, the I don't remember the quality being this bad, but hot diggity damn, it's wild what I used to, and what everyone else at this point in time considered high quality. 240p! No wonder I couldn't follow the tutorial. I didn't know if you were doing your crease or your eyebrow. Genuinely, I would highly recommend going to your favorite makeup guru's channel, going to their videos and going oldest to newest and clicking on their oldest video, because it is such a beautiful night and day contrast, and it is fascinating to watch. Two of the creators that I would suggest doing this most for would be Nikki Tutorials and Jackie Aina, because they have been here since about 2008, 2009. So they were back in the day when there was no such thing as sexy slow-mos. You would take a photo and then just pan it. I don't know what it was, but people just had photos and were just like they would use them on the screen. It was fabulous. Quality. But OG makeup and beauty creators like Michelle Phan, Blair Flower, Elle Flower, Zoella, Tanya Burr, Candy Johnson, Gigi Gorgeous, Bubs Beauty, who I regularly watched when I was a child, and to see that name pop up again in my research just absolutely made my day. Sean XO, Lauren Curtis, Marlene Estelle, RCL Beauty 101, Jackie Aina and Andrea's Choice, who all started their channels between 2007 and 2011, used their channels, their videos to, yes, still have fun with us, but to primarily teach us makeup application, teach us makeup techniques, how to achieve a certain standard of beauty every single time, no matter what the occasion was. These tutorials that these creators were giving us were lessons in makeup application, makeup techniques that up until this point in time, we as the audience would have had to have paid for them. So it was a lovely little treat that had never been done before for us to get them for free. No matter how simple the look was. And I say simple because we're talking 11 to 14 years ago now. Don't get me wrong, there were still a lot of makeup products available, just nowhere near to the extent of today, which meant that some techniques and some looks just didn't exist or weren't possible because the tools or products didn't exist or weren't possible to get as an everyday consumer. Which also means that a lot of looks or techniques wouldn't have existed or even been considered outside of a fashion or drag context. So the tutorials being made were definitely for the everyday person, the party person or clubbing person or event person of the mid to late noughties. A cut crease? What's that? Bold eyeliner? We don't know her. Graphic eyeliner? Glitter? Could be used during the day? Where was the pizzazz? Where I saw this starting to change was the influence of pop culture, because pop culture has always had an influence on fashion, beauty, and makeup. But now with the existence of YouTube and the makeup and fashion niches on YouTube, the how to get the look step-by-step guides were far easier to find and follow. With Beyonce tutorials, Lady Gaga tutorials, Jennifer Lopez tutorials, Taylor Swift tutorials, Britney Spears tutorials, Katy Perry tutorials, and Kim Kardashian tutorials becoming increasingly popular and very profitable. Because back then, YouTube was just a site. Yes, there was some money to be made on the platform, don't get me wrong, but it was still the early years when there was absolutely no celebrity status whatsoever, and a creator's true potential was not yet understood by the creator, by YouTube, or by the mainstream media. So it was film, TV, music, and fashion that set the trends and told us, the consumers, what was popular. And you can still see it today with all of these Billie Eilish makeup tutorials, Billie Eilish get the look videos, but it is nowhere near as popular as it once was. And that cheeky little nugget is something that I'm going to be getting into a lot deeper later on in the video. So hold on to that one. Because moving through the timeline to 2011, 2012, we start to pick up the pace a bit, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. When I say a bit, I mean a bit. Because the makeup looks were starting to get a little bit more drastic, a little bit heavier, and a little bit more full coverage. With the rising popularity and influence of Kim Kardashian, people wanted to get the look. People wanted contouring, a technique used for decades by drag queens, but it was Kim Kardashian's contouring that sold magazines. With everyone now wanting to know how to perfect this technique for their face, there were thousands of videos made on contouring. How to contour your face, how to contour your nose, how to contour your cheeks, how to contour your chin, how to contour your forehead. If there was a body part or a facial feature that could be contoured, there were thousands of videos made on it, to the point where I guarantee that if there is a makeup guru on YouTube who has been here since about 2012, they have at least 2 contouring videos on their channel. Guarantee it. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments, because I think that that is an impossible challenge that I have set for every single one of you. Once there was a demand, there was a supply, with makeup companies making more products, making these techniques more accessible, making these makeup looks more accessible. And it was about here where makeup looks on social media slowly started to evolve. It was definitely a gradual evolution, but with every new look that was being posted, there was a bit more wow. Granted, most of the time it was, "Ooh, are we doing another smoky eye? But you're putting purple in it. Oh my god, who gave you permission? Purple! In a smoky eye!" The audacity. But there was, is, has always been, and will always be about 3 times a year where this wow factor is seen way more than usual. And of course, I'm talking about Valentine's Day, because who isn't a sucker for Cupid's arrow? I am talking about the whole holiday season, the whole of December, because you have Christmas looks, holiday looks, New Year's looks, and also CPM is a lot higher around here, so there is a bit more of a incentive for creators to post more frequently and more regularly. And last but definitely not least is Halloween, because Halloween is when creators go big, go hard, and they get really creative. Genuinely, if you're a creator and you miss out on any of these moments in a year, you are an absolute idiot. People plan for these for months for very good reason, because these creators know that a lot can happen in a year, a lot can change in a year. You can become cancelled, you can become irrelevant. So these moments in time are precious, because there is so much unlimited potential that it would be stupid to waste. Take it from someone who has wasted it several years in a row. But it wasn't until about 2014, in my personal opinion, where Halloween really started to develop into its true potential, because pre-2014 Halloween makeup was basic and boring. I'm not saying that the makeup was necessarily bad originally, but I am saying that there is a very distinct contrast between Halloween makeup back then to what it is now. But also you can definitely see that makeup creators have been constantly pushing themselves, improving themselves, bettering themselves, and just getting more technical. And from my perspective, it was around 2014, because this is where makeup and SFX started to mix together beautifully with the joining of 2 of our biggest makeup SFX creators. I am, of course, talking about Made You Look and Glam and Gore, 2 of our biggest makeup, SFX, body paint, and all things deliciously gory specialists on YouTube. And I say all of that because I'm pretty confident that everyone has at least seen one of their videos. Everyone has at least heard of these 2 creators. Made You Look joined YouTube in 2011, whereas Glam and Gore joined YouTube in 2014. Both of them have some incredible videos, some of those videos hitting the millions of views, and both of them in the millions of subscribers. They showed not only their audiences, not only the community, community, but also the whole of the internet, that it didn't have to be Halloween to slap on some fake blood, and it was also gorgeous in the grotesque. And a lot of their content actually helped for SFX techniques to become more mainstream, for it to become more accessible to those who had never tried it before, but also for SFX techniques to become a widely accepted part of the makeup community. I'm not saying that these two creators are the sole reason that the makeup community started to get a little bit more daring, a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more outlandish with their makeup looks, but I am saying that these two creators definitely contributed, and I am also saying that back before 2014-ish, I couldn't see many, if any, makeup creators really using a healthy amount of liquid latex prosthetics or intricate face paints to make their makeup looks a real look. L-E-W-K, Luke. And even then, it wasn't just the Halloween looks that improved. It wasn't just the liquid latex looks that improved. There were other looks within the makeup niche that utilized common SFX techniques to improve these makeup looks. For example, the illusions makeup that is far beyond my capabilities. If you can do illusions makeup, 1, stunning. 2, you're a magician. It was about 2014-ish when the makeup niche on YouTube really started to evolve. When the whole platform, in all honesty, started to evolve. Because creators knew that they could make money off of the platform, and brands knew this too. So brands were using not only the platform, but also creators to advertise and sell their products. So creators were becoming aware of the potential of their influence, and this extended to the makeup niche. Makeup creators were regularly posting, growing their channels, growing as creators, and growing as artists. Growing past just posting everyday makeup, party makeup, clubbing makeup, event makeup, makeup reviews, what to buy, what to avoid, how to clean your face properly, how to clean your brushes properly. Simply put, growing past makeup tutorials that anyone could or would want to approach. To posting tutorials that not the everyday person would want to wear, to posting tutorials that really showed off the skill of the host of the channel. Makeup creators were growing past simply just teaching us how to do makeup to showing us how they do makeup. Because really, how many of us have watched a makeup tutorial with absolutely no intention of recreating the makeup? But the makeup was just so intricate that it was fascinating how we got from point A to point B. Like, I'm never gonna do the makeup, but I wanna know how you do it. Right? Like, that can't just be me. But even after YouTube has existed for 9 years at this point, there still wasn't a sense of community within the makeup niche. There wasn't a beauty community. There wasn't a makeup community. There was simply creators who made beauty content, creators who made makeup content. YouTube from its origins to 2015 definitely had its niches, but primarily most of the big channels were all personality-based channels. We watched channels and subscribed to them because the people that were running them, the hosts of the channel, their personalities were enticing. People like PewDiePie, Jenna Marbles, Zoella, Thatcher Joe, Shane Dawson. For reasons as a former fan I don't even know anymore. KSI, Smosh, Tyler Oakley, II Superwoman, II, Miranda Sings, Graveyard Girl, BF vs GF, just to name a few, but there were so many more. But even though all of these creators had their constant content that wasn't them specific, it was still inevitably their personalities that kept us coming back every single time. But one thing that all of these channels were doing at the time were collabs. They were building friendships, relationships on platform that benefited everyone. But the makeup community wasn't really. Don't get me wrong, there may have been a few, but it wasn't until about 2015 when this became a frequently seen part of the makeup niche. Inviting people over to film, not even necessarily to film makeup content. It could have been any kind of content, any kind of trending popular video type that other communities were doing at the time. But regardless, whatever the content was, people were forming business relationships, people were forming friendships on platform. This created a more visual and overall expressed togetherness on YouTube within the makeup niche, and it helped develop this sense sense of community, because we as an audience got to see who each creator was individually outside of their own channel. We got to see who each creator was outside of a tutorial-based content. And of course, this helped develop a more personable rapport with each individual creator and their audience, or their audience to be. But we also got to see how these creators interacted with each other, how these creators had fun, enjoyed themselves together. By these creators filming their fun moments, they're developing friendships and posting them online to share with us. They included us in their fun. They included us in their friendships. These creators were allowing us, the audience, into their lives a little bit more. So it was now more than just a student-teacher dynamic within the makeup niche on YouTube. It was developing into a community. The way I look at it, the first chapter of anything, it doesn't matter what media the story is told in, the first chapter of anything sets up the story that is about to unfold. That's what the makeup community was unintentionally doing between 2005 to 2015, because the platform as a whole didn't understand its true potential, and therefore neither could its creators. So from my perspective, it was about 2015 when the makeup creators and the fast developing sense of community within the makeup niche on YouTube started to really understand and realize the true potential that they had. The turning point for this in the makeup community, in my personal opinion, was when the internet shattering The Power of Makeup by Nikki Tutorials was posted. In this video, Nikki expressed that she saw so many people being shamed for loving makeup, for loving to do their makeup, that apparently the only reason that we could be doing our makeup like this is for male attention, is because we are insecure, is because we do not love ourselves. So inspired by a season 7 RuPaul's Drag Race runway theme, Nikki decided that she was going to fully transform one half of her face to be full on glam, and then the other half to be her raw beauty, in the hopes to inspire people to enjoy makeup for what it is. Makeup, to embrace makeup, to have fun with it. And today the video is sitting at a whopping 42 million views, and in my personal opinion, it is the single most influential video in the makeup community. Because hell yeah, of course I remember the stupidity of, you have pimples? Cover them! Oh wow, covering your pimples with that much product isn't going to be good for it, and it's actually going to make it worse. You should put on a touch of makeup. You'd look better. Oh, that's not enough. That's far too much. You should add a touch of sparkle. Why are you wearing glitter during the day? Your brows are far too bushy. Pluck them. Wow, why are your eyebrows so thin? Add more to them with a pencil. Add some more color to your face with blush. Do you have a fever? Wow, your lips are so small. They're tiny. They're microscopic. You should overline them. Oh wow, how insecure do you have to be to overline your lips like that? Oh my god, how do you do your makeup like that? This is a lie. Your skin must look awful underneath. Like Fambulance, pick a lane and stick with it, because you are literally losing IQ points the longer that you speak. People who wore a lot of makeup, people who loved makeup, were just the butt of everyone's joke, and this video just seemed to rewrite that. This video made it so that those who criticized us for something as innocent as loving makeup and wearing makeup were the butt of our joke. It inspired people and it made people proud. People not only once again started having fun with makeup, but they started using makeup to its fullest potential. They started using YouTube as a whole to its fullest potential in context to the makeup community. They started using social media as a whole to its truest potential in context to the makeup community, because people were now interweaving all of their social media platforms. And my personal favorite, people were starting to use the makeup industry to its full potential. The makeup community genuinely started to become a force to be reckoned with, and became very quickly one of the most profitable niches on social media on YouTube. With millions of views, likes, comments, subscribers, ideas, the makeup industry knew to market their products in these videos. The makeup industry is a billion-dollar industry, and the YouTube makeup community was starting to take its piece. With makeup YouTubers starting to do collaborations with makeup companies. You had the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Becca highlight collaboration in 2015, and then the collection in 2016. You had the Nikki Tutorials Power of Makeup collaboration with Too Faced. We had Jeffree Star Cosmetics growing as well, which, yes, Jeffree wasn't initially a YouTuber, but he was quite popular on social media thanks to MySpace, and really it was YouTube that helped push his brand, market his brand, sell his brand. It was really YouTube that grew the company and made it as profitable and as successful as it is today. Or maybe a few years ago. His products kind of stopped selling out. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that it was 2011 when Marlene Estelle founded her company Makeup Geek, and I'm not trying to undermine her hard work, because really, she was the one that paved the way for everyone else. What I am saying is, from what I could find, Marlena was the first person in the makeup community to use her social media platform, to use her presence, to use her influence to help her start and launch her makeup company and succeed. But it wasn't until about 2015 when makeup lines and makeup collaborations became a regular thing within the makeup community. Because if we think about it, who now has makeup lines? Who now has collaborations with makeup lines? So many makeup content creators, and yes, good on them. It's exciting, it's daunting, and you should be proud of yourselves. But back in 2015 and before 2015, this was a very exclusive thing to be a part of. To be a part of not only the makeup application, but the makeup production. Once again, don't get me wrong, because yes, it is still very exclusive. Not everyone has makeup lines, not everyone has makeup collaborations, but it just isn't as exclusive as it once was, because companies now know that they can use creators to help sell their products, and they know that they can do this even more if it's an exclusive limited edition collaboration. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, I'm just saying that it's a marketing technique, and it's a marketing technique that's been proven to work time and time again. Also in this timeline, a very cheeky nod to Kylie Jenner, because even though she wasn't a YouTuber, she knew her brand, she knew social media and its potential and how to use it to help her market and sell her products and brand, which at this point in time, some companies still didn't know how to do this. Companies were legitimately waiting for social media to die out. How's that going for you, babes? Her initial lipstick kit launch and release literally broke the internet back in 2014, and Kylie Cosmetics, in all honesty, has contributed to some of the best moments in the makeup community, but also some of the messiest. So really, for quite a few reasons, the biggest in my opinion being Nicki's viral video, 2015 was a crucial year for the makeup community on YouTube. What's better than 2015? 2016. 2016 in hindsight was a very eventful year for the beauty community because one, it was just a year of fun, and two, James Charles just joined the party. The biggest and I would say most talked about makeup creator on YouTube finally joined the party in 2016, and I don't even know how to start to express the possibilities of this butterfly effect. Genuinely, if James Charles didn't start posting makeup content to YouTube in 2016, what would 2018 to 2021 makeup community YouTube look like? Does that not blow anyone else's mind? But 2016 was definitely a year of fun because everything was just getting bigger and better. You had better editing and recording because technology itself was just getting better, but also the looks were getting bigger, better, more dramatic, more over the top, more colors, more glitter, and it was just fabulous. I loved watching it. When 2016 hit in my research, I was like, there's the shimmer, there's the pizzazz. But 2016 was also the year where Snapchat released its famous filters, which means that before that, we didn't have these filters, so the makeup community made so many videos on how to recreate the filter, but using makeup. Each of the videos were a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed at least 50 of those in 2016, but these videos also helped these creators promote their Snapchat, which meant more followers on Snapchat, which meant that more people could get to know these creators a little bit more personally off camera, which once again helped develop a more personable community for this specific creator, but for the makeup community as a whole. But also, it was definitely the year of the challenges. We had the full face using highlighter challenge that really kickstarted everything. The channel Maria, which I hope I am saying correctly, originally posted the video and then everyone jumped on because who wouldn't want to do a whole face using only highlighter? It's just absolute perfection. The fact that no one thought of this beforehand, I'm baffled. But as soon as we had the full face using only highlighter challenge, all of a sudden we had all of the other challenges. We had the full face using only liquid lipstick challenge. We had the full face using only glitter challenge. We had the full face using only kids makeup challenge. We had the no mirror makeup challenge, which was originally started in 2012-ish by Michelle Phan and Bubs Beauty, but 2016 brought it back for another round. And of course, the big one, because in 2016, Simply Nailogical posted Polish Mountain, which was an absolute masterpiece, and the makeup community said, oh yeah, I can do that too! 100 layers of foundation, mascara, lashes, lipstick, eyeshadow, blush, highlight. If there was a makeup product that could be applied to a face or a body in 100 layers, the video exists. The internet said 100 layers, the makeup community said yes. There are hundreds of thousands of videos made inspired by Christine's Polish Mountain video, and to me, that's just a wild thought, because I don't think that Christine woke up that day, posted that video with this expectation. I don't think she sat there being like, you know what, if I post Polish Mountain, the whole makeup community is going to explode. The makeup community was growing exponentially. There was new makeup products, new ideas, new videos, new creators blowing up all the time. It was a party and everyone was invited and everyone was involved. Legitimately, if you want a bit of happy in your day, go back to the 2016 makeup community videos. Don't get me wrong, there's still a bit of drama, tea, and scandal, but as a whole, it felt like a whole community enjoying themselves and not taking themselves too seriously. And this, in all honesty, from my perspective, is where it starts to get a little bit sad. For those who don't know, as I mentioned before, I have a series on this channel where I document the history of the beauty community's teas, dramas, scandals, and controversies. And in doing that, I can genuinely say that it's 2016 where these teas, dramas, scandals, controversies start to increase not only in quantity, but also in severity. I want to make it clear that when I say severity, I'm not trying to quantify who did the shittiest thing. But these controversies have increased to the point where, unfortunately, from what I can see, there starts to be a divide in the makeup community. With some of the controversies and scandals that I've covered in my series, you can see that at times, depending on the scandal and controversy, it was popular to hate and trash certain creators, and because of this, there was fighting amongst audiences, both for and against a specific creator. I said this before in one of my videos, I don't specifically remember which one, but I say in all of my disclaimers, I don't promote, encourage, or endorse any kind of mean, negative, harassing, malicious behavior towards anyone. Because of this, I'm not going to judge you for who you subscribe to or support online. Granted, depending on the creator and why you like them, I may have some healthy distance. Like Onion Man. If you like and support Onion Man, I'm going to be having some healthy distance. But that comes down to, I don't think our morals and ethics line up in a way that is constructive for either of us. So regardless of the information or the opinions that I give you, your main priority should be that you are happy and that you are healthy. But back to what I was saying, because there was quite a few controversies in the makeup community that really split the community like a cake. Because if you're supporting one creator, you definitely can't be supporting this other creator. But also, if one of the creators that you're supporting has some awful behavior of theirs come to light, then you by chosen association are also guilty of that behavior. The beauty community was really starting to divide, and in all honesty, at times becoming quite volatile depending on the scandal or controversy. With all platforms on social media blowing up with information, opinions, thoughts, controversies on specific teas, dramas, scandals, and controversies. And truly, from my personal opinion, with all of the research and study that I have done on the beauty community, I think the drama, tea, controversy, or scandal that really started all of this was Dramageddon Part 1. For those who want a more thorough rundown on Dramageddon Part 1 or the whole entire Dramageddon saga, if you are brave enough, then go check out Part 2 and Part 3 of my history of the beauty community's teas, dramas, and scandals. Part 2 has Dramageddon Part 1 and 2, and then Part 3 has... Part 3? Yeah, Part 3. Part 3. I had a brain fart. Part 3 has Dramageddon Part 3 or Carmageddon. But the basic rundown, Dramageddon Part 1 was in 2018, and this is where we saw the internet forgive Jeffree for all of his racist past thanks to his first docuseries with Shane Dawson, and then we saw the downfall of 4 other makeup artists because of this, being Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Gabrielle Zamora, and Nikita Dragon. Because after we saw the internet forgive Jeffree thanks to the docuseries, the other 4 were on a brand trip, if I remember correctly, and they decided to take a photo recreating one of the Kardashian or Jenner sisters' birthday photos and then tweeted it with a shady little tweet against Jeffree. The internet recognized the subtlety and figured out who they were all subtweeting. And boy oh boy did it backfire. Because the internet went back through their social media and found their racist past and made sure that they all had to answer for it. I think this was a really big turning point in the community because from my understanding, this was the biggest controversy to hit the community up until this time. There was still a lot of scandals in 2017, 2016, 2018, don't get me wrong, but nothing that did this much damage. Manny and Laura lost views, subscribers, sponsorships, partnerships. They were the absolute laughingstock of the internet. It didn't matter what niche a person was in, everyone was making fun of the Laura Leach apology. Everyone was memeing the Laura Leach apology because it was really a goldmine for content. In the paraphrased words of Tana Mojo, don't apologize so that people will like you again. Maybe stand back and consider how to become a person worth liking. Nikita and Gabriel, of course, got hit hard as the situation was unraveling, but once the dust had settled, it was kind of nothing to them. And then Jeffrey weirdly benefited from this situation. He gained a new loyal audience for his social media, but also for his company, with some of his makeup then selling out. In this situation, there didn't seem to be any middle ground when it came to supporting Jeffrey. You were either for or against him. And if you were against him, there was seemingly a lot to answer for. And I say this because there have been situations with creators like Jackie Aina who have had to explain several times why they don't want to buy from Jeffree Star Cosmetics and why they don't support Jeffree Star. From my understanding, Jackie has explained several times that she doesn't buy from Jeffree Star Cosmetics or support Jeffree because it simply comes down to a clash in morals and ethics, which... yeah, fair. But Dramageddon Part 1 also helped pave the way for Dramageddon Part 2, which happened the following year in 2019. If there wasn't already cracks in the community, it's now a freaking chasm. For those who were fortunate enough not to know what Dramageddon Part 2 was, I'm about to burst your bubble, because Dramageddon Part 2 was the bi-sisters situation with Tati and James Charles. Let me be clear once again, I'm not trying to quantify which situation is worse or who did the shittiest thing, but what I am saying is there can't be a Dramageddon Part 2 without Dramageddon Part 1. Whether we as an audience know to its truest extent or not, Dramageddon Part 1 helped influence Dramageddon Part 2. And from what I understand, Dramageddon Part 2 was the first time a makeup creator was specifically targeted and attacked this way. And from what I understand, this is the first time a makeup creator on YouTube was being accused of criminal behavior. And if this chapter of the Dramageddon saga didn't put a dampener on the party, as soon as we recovered from Dramageddon Part 2, it was time for Dramageddon Part 3 in 2020. Because... don't step on the brakes, step on the gas! Dramageddon Part 3 or Carmageddon, depending on what name you want to go with, to be put very, very simply, is the downfall of Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. There was, of course, a lot more other tea, drama, controversies and scandals to happen between 2016 to now, but none of them compare to any of the Dramageddon saga installments. Because with this saga, these controversies, it wasn't just the creator's reputation that was being damaged, it was also the subscriber's reputation that was being damaged, the makeup community's reputation that was being damaged, and YouTube's reputation that was being damaged for giving these creators a platform, for giving them an influence, for giving them a presence. It wasn't just these creators who were suffering the consequences, and when it was happening, and as I've researched it several times at this point, it genuinely has me sitting here thinking, what the fuck happened? What happened to the joy? What happened to the fun? What happened to the passion? Like, did I miss a memo? There were really only 2 moments in these years where I can vividly remember us coming together as a community and having fun. Us coming together and being happy. Us coming together and enjoying ourselves. Us coming together and feeling like a community. We all were getting some sort of enjoyment or satisfaction from the situations, even if some of the situations were very, very bittersweet. The first being the conspiracy docuseries with Shane and Jeffree. I've previously done a video where I, as a former fan of both Jeffree and Shane, rewatched the conspiracy docuseries to see if my opinions on the series have changed, and they have. My opinions have changed since its initial drop, so if you want to go check that out, go check it out. But in this context, I will be talking mainly in the past tense. So when it was dropping, this is how I felt. These were my opinions when it was dropping, but with some of the now opinions sprinkled in there. Just thought I would give a bit of context for this thought process. But regardless of what my opinions are now, back then when everything was initially dropping and everything was being shown to us, we as a community were mesmerized. We were so happy, excited, shocked by what we were being shown. As a community, we were experiencing all of the happy things because we were watching Shane develop as a businessman. We were watching Jeffree become more human and more relatable. We were watching this palette, this collection become a reality until it was in our hands for us to play with. This docuseries, regardless of all the information that has come out since its initial drop, is still one of the biggest defining moments in the beauty community's history. Because never before had we seen such a rags to riches story. Never before had we been taken behind the scenes to not only watch the development, but the production, marketing, selling, and buying of a specific palette of a collection. It was a true event and a crucial point in the makeup community's history, and for the first time in quite quite a while, we were all on the same page. We were finally reading the same book. But I think the other moment in the makeup community's history where we all came together as a community and actually agreed on something was Nikki tutorials coming out last year. Don't get me wrong, mentioning this situation does make me incredibly uncomfortable because this is not tea, drama, scandal, or controversy. This is someone's pain. This is someone's trauma, because for those who don't know, someone was blackmailing Nikki, threatening to leak her story to the press because she was lying about who she really was, according to the blackmailer, which is absolutely vile, disgusting behavior. So I do feel uncomfortable mentioning this situation because I don't see it as a story. I don't see it as a, oh my god, did you see what happened? I see it as some absolute bullshit that someone shouldn't have done, and someone shouldn't have caused that pain to Nikki, caused that trauma to Nikki. But regardless, what you can see, you can still see it. Just go to the comment section on that video. What you can see is, without hesitation and with absolutely no communication, the whole community came together and gave Nikki unconditional love and support. Don't get me wrong, there was still a lot of transphobes and homophobes, but for the majority, people were offering their love and support to Nikki unconditionally with open arms. In my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, it was Nikki who catalyzed the development of the makeup community, of the beauty community. So even if people didn't really know Nikki, even if people didn't really watch her content, even if people had stopped watching her content years ago, people were flooding in from all aspects of the community to offer their love and their support, but also recognize and validate her bravery to give a good to the blackmailer, but also to live authentically. So even though, yes, this situation was someone's pain, was someone's trauma, and it isn't tea, scandal, or controversy, it is still a moment in our history where you can definitely see that we as a community came together, were on the same page, and also offered someone a lot of love, support, validation, and acceptance. But I just wish that this kind of coming together from our community was under less traumatic circumstances, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. But regardless, chapter 2 of the evolution of the beauty community really started off on a high note thanks to Nikki and the development of the beauty community from there on. We had a lot of fun, we had a lot to watch, and then we had a lot of distraction, to the point where I know that a lot of people are no longer having fun. They're no longer having fun in the content, they're no longer having fun in the community, because majority of the time now it seems like it's no longer about the content. Which leads us to today, where yes, there is still quite a lot of fun in our community, don't get me wrong, but there is huge divides, there is huge clashing, and there is a huge amount of controversy. Personally, from what I'm seeing after looking into the drama specifically, and then now for this video looking at the community as a whole, we are at an all-time high when it comes to quality and skill. What creators are pumping out these days doesn't matter how big or small the channel or platform is for them. What creators are pumping out these days is stunning. It is majestic. It is breathtaking. I am lost for words sometimes. But genuinely, I think we're closing this chapter. Genuinely, I think we're going into a new one. As I specified in this video, I think the first chapter started at 2005 when YouTube started, and I think it concluded at 2014, and I think the last chapter started in 2015, and I think it's concluding now-ish, because audiences and some creators are just sick of the controversy. They are sick of the drama. I can see it in my comment section. I've seen it in goodbye videos. And some of the controversies are very simple. Don't be a dick, yet people are. Some seemingly just to stay relevant on the platform. But also, to touch upon a dot point that I briefly mentioned at the beginning of the video, most people now know how to do their makeup, and most makeup looks at this point have been done. It is becoming increasingly difficult to be original when it comes to makeup these days. So tutorial-based content is becoming less watched, because what differentiates one tutorial from another tutorial enough for someone to want to watch it? As creators, we get one first impression for our videos, being the title and the thumbnail, and if someone manages to click on the video because of a title and thumbnail, we have about 30 seconds to gain your interest before you click off the video. So unfortunately, because I see tutorial based content getting less and less views across the board, it doesn't matter if you're a big creator or a small creator, tutorial based content is just getting less views in general. By the looks of it, makeup tutorials are becoming a thing of the past. Of course, if you want to post makeup tutorials, go for it. Don't let what I'm saying stand in your way. As long as you are happy, that is all that matters. But what I am saying is that so many people now know how to do their makeup, and there is quite an oversaturation when it comes to makeup tutorials on YouTube. And in my personal opinion, I just don't think the title and thumbnail first impression is going to be enough. But because of this, we are starting to see quite a fun, fascinating emergence of new makeup content. I wasn't keeping an eye on the glue and it's just dried out. This thought process of mine, this study of the makeup community, is actually one of the factors that influenced my change in content a few months ago. But there is a lot more to it than that, and that is for a completely different video. That whole thought process of mine, if I genuinely tried to map it out, can you have a Venn diagram still be a Venn diagram if it's got 30,000 different circles? Oh my god, it would literally look like a Swiss cheese brain! Onions have layers, ogres have layers, and so does this metaphor. But also, since changing my content style, I have had quite a lot of comments comparing my content to Bailey Syrian, who I had never heard of before, but thank you so much for leading me to her, because stunning. Flawless. Oh my god. Thank you. But as we start to see certain content styles become irrelevant, we start to see all of these new content styles. We have true crime makeup, gaming makeup, commentary makeup. Hello! I'm here to party. We are genuinely seeing some creators start to really mix the niches together, which is creating endless possibilities on YouTube for the makeup community. So just from looking at the makeup community on YouTube, we're really starting to see a shift in the baseline content. In a year's time, I don't even know if we will have baseline content. Oh, no, actually, that's wrong. I think the only kind of baseline content we could possibly have would be product reviews, because they are still going to be relevant because people want to know if they're wasting their money or not when it comes to buying a specific product. But really, what else do we have? My thirsty, crusty, dusty skin has messed up my base makeup. Love that for me! Maybe I have to get a better primer. But in all honesty, I think it's TikTok that's really starting to reshape the makeup community for more than one reason. Because one, it's starting to reshape the whole of social media in a way that Vine tried to, but come on, they never really managed. Because in my opinion, I highly doubt that Instagram would have come out with Reels, and I highly doubt that YouTube would have come out with Shorts if it wasn't for TikTok. Because TikTok is threatening their relevancy. TikTok creators were threatening the relevancy of Instagram creators, of YouTube creators, to the point where I'm pretty sure that's why, in my personal opinion, I'm pretty sure that's why a lot of YouTube creators and Instagram creators jumped over to TikTok, because they wanted to be hip with the cool kids. Because TikTok is constantly coming out with new trends, being concepts, videos, and sounds that can be reinterpreted for every creator no matter what niche. And with how fast someone can grow on TikTok, there is constantly new faces, but constantly new faces in the makeup community, and these new faces bring fresh ideas. So as TikTok has been developing its own makeup community, the YouTube makeup community has been drawing inspiration from it and upping their game, making bigger and better looks, but bigger and better concepts for videos. In all honesty, how many YouTube creators are there out there with 2 videos on their channel dedicated to testing out viral TikTok makeup products, testing out viral TikTok makeup trends, or testing out viral TikTok makeup hacks? Once again, I guarantee that majority of the makeup creators on YouTube will have 2 videos focused on TikTok on their channel, so that they can be a part of the fun, but also so that they don't fade into irrelevancy. But it isn't just YouTube or YouTubers that have recognized the influence that TikTok has on its audience. Because if we think about it logically, makeup TikToker Abby Roberts has 16.6 million followers on her profile, whereas Jeffree Star has 16.3 on YouTube. Straight up, Abby has more followers than Jeffree Star, and yes, it is on different platforms. You have TikTok versus YouTube, but most brands aren't going to care about what platform it's on, they just care about the numbers. But TikTok was the latest and freshest thing, to the point where it was actually helping influence the Billboard charts. So in all honesty, I'm gonna say that most brands and companies would want to side with TikTok because it is the new, fresh, popular, trendy thing to be a part of. But also, if you're a brand or a company and you pick the right creator to make the right advertisement for you on TikTok, you could accidentally start a trend with your product. Which, advertising and marketing wise, it is far better to have your product trending on TikTok than it is to pay for a YouTuber to do a review. For example, the KVD Good Apple Foundation, that only took a handful of the correct creators to do a 30-second review rather than a typical YouTube review. So once again, again, it wasn't just YouTube and it wasn't just its creators, it was also brands who were recognizing the influence of TikTok. To the point where Morphe very quickly did some collaborations with TikTokers, being Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio as well as Avani Gregg. For a platform that everyone downloaded as a joke, to have this much power and influence years later is absolutely incredible, especially considering everyone thought it was gonna die out as soon as it got popular. Nope. But in all honesty, I can genuinely see the influence that TikTok is having within the makeup community, and I am so glad that it's here. Because makeup TikTokers go hard. They, up until very recently, only had 15 to 60 seconds to make an impression, and for 15 to 60 seconds, some of these looks are absolutely mind-blowing. They are stunning, they are breathtaking, they are... oh my god! Like, just for 15 seconds, that is the extent that you go to? Thank you. They are helping bring the makeup community back to what it's supposed to be about. Makeup! So with some categories of makeup content running their course due to oversaturation, new and fascinating categories of content emerging within the makeup community, the immense influence that TikTok is having globally over everything, and a lot of the community being absolutely exhausted by the bullshit controversies that seem to just keep happening, I think naturally there is going to be a shift very soon that in hindsight is going to be incredibly obvious. It's possibly already happened, but at the moment I think the makeup community specifically on YouTube is in a very weird limbo state. Because even though I know that people love a cheeky bit of tea, love to get a teeny bit messy, I don't think that those controversies are gonna keep specific creators relevant for long. In all honesty, with all of the disclaimers and content warnings that I have had to put in my history of the beauty community, tease, dramas, and scandals, I don't think that there is a trigger that I haven't yet hit. But where my mind is going with this is very similar to what I said in my Why YouTube Characters Never Work, What Happened to Peel-Off video. In that video, I specified that there has to be growth, there has to be evolution in a character, otherwise it becomes stale, people get bored, and people no longer watch it. Because with no evolution, eventually the character just becomes a bigger, louder version of themselves. It just becomes a caricature of the character's original state. For example, Fred or any of Shane Dawson's characters. So even though our YouTube creators are not characters, there are quite a few of them that seem to be getting into controversy after controversy just to stir up a bit of relevancy for them. But after a while, we're just gonna get bored because the controversies are no longer gonna keep us on our toes, because it's really what we expect from this person, and there's only so far a scandal or controversy can go before it's criminal. There's only so far you can push scandals and controversies until you commit a crime. Let's play a game of is it worth it? Either way, as I was saying, I'm pretty sure that the internet is just going to lose interest in these specific creators for not bettering themselves as people, and for their scandals and controversies no longer being interesting because we just expect this kind of awful behavior, and I highly doubt that even after being this committed to convincing us that they are terrible people, that they are going to commit legitimate crimes. So genuinely in 2-ish years time, I think we're gonna have a very different looking top creators list, because some are just going to fade into irrelevancy because they weren't able to adapt with the times. Some are going to fade into irrelevancy because they no longer have a shock value to them. And I think, and I'm very excited to see if I'm correct, that there are going to be some new, fresh faces that really challenge the makeup community for what it is with their new, fresh ideas. Even though I said before, it's getting increasingly difficult to be original, that doesn't mean that people can't be. And because of that, I think we're going to see even more new subcategories within the makeup community's niche, which in general, I think there is the possibility that we will be able to get back to a similar vibe that we had in 2015, 2016, when we were all enjoying ourselves and we were all having fun. We will of course never be that community ever again because too much has happened, but I think the fun, happy, enjoying ourselves vibe is definitely something that we can get back. And on top of that, as I specified before, I think the baseline content is going to change, because back in the day, back when I was a youngster, back in the day, the baseline content was the tutorial content, but at this point there is such an oversaturation in the makeup community that the demand for makeup tutorials is just no longer a thing. So the baseline content is going to change. I just don't know what to. In all honesty, I got no idea what it is, but whatever it is, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see where the community is in 2-ish years, because genuinely, I think we're going into a new chapter. Genuinely, I think we're shifting to a new point in the makeup community community. I think in 2 years, the makeup community isn't going to be the same. It's going to be almost unrecognizable, like 2015 is unrecognizable. And with all of that said and done, that's it. That is all my thoughts. That is all of them in this one lovely video. Oh my gosh, how much footage are we at? So many people love when I say how much I've been rambling for, how long I've been rambling for. We are at 6 hours and 40 minutes. This cute little hot mess express knows how to chat. Genuinely, I'm exhausted, but I loved researching for this video. I loved writing the notes for this video. I loved filming this video. I know that I'm going to love editing this video, and I'm going to love premiering this video with every single one of you. And it's been a while since a video has made me feel just this satisfied at the end of it. I'm feeling so good. I think I'm feeling so good because I am certain, I have never been more certain of anything in my life, that the beauty community is at a pivot point. It's at a turning point. We are going to change, and we are going to change fast. And I want to see what the new kind of baseline content is going to be. I want to see the new faces come in. I want to see the fresh ideas coming in, because really over the last few months, the beauty community has been changing, and a lot of that's to do with some content and some people becoming irrelevant, or some of the controversies, but also TikTok. But as I said at the beginning of the video, I genuinely read every single one of my comments. Doesn't matter if it's an old video or a new video. I read every single one of my comments, and I genuinely want to know what you think of this video. I want to know all of your thoughts, all of your opinions, whether they are the same as mine, whether they conflict with mine, because if you have a difference in perspective, I want to know, because it's one of the best ways that I can learn. And if you don't know me, hello, I'm JJ. I like learning. I like filling all of the holes in my Swiss cheese brain. This is an off-the-cuff throwaway saying that really stuck. It really struck a chord in me. But also, as I said at the beginning of the video, please let me know what you want me to talk about next, because I genuinely want to know, because maybe you know of one of my Swiss cheese brain holes that I am not aware of yet, and I would like to fill every single one of them, please, because I don't want a Swiss cheese brain. I want a brie cheese brain, and now I just want cheese, even though she's lactose intolerant. But while you're letting me know all of that, please also let me know what you think of my face. Just bask in my glory. No, that's nasty. Why would you do that to me, you absolute goblin? My light just went out. Where's my spare battery? Either way, now that my light's fixed, we can go back to talking about how stunning I look. I look incredible. I wasn't sure about some of these color combinations, but I kind of like the contrast, and also it matches my designer egg. I shouldn't be trusted with adult money. Like, she's stunning. She's iconic. I'm getting way too much enjoyment out of this designer egg. I shouldn't be trusted with adult money, but I have absolutely no regrets, because this egg is one of my favorite things I've ever made. My makeup right now is so stunning. Fight me right now. I dare you. You wouldn't dare, because I'm invincible. I will throw my egg at you. I love my egg. I'm going to be talking about this for days. To all of my friends and family who have to hear me talk about my designer egg, I'm so sorry in advance. But genuinely, thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you made it to the end, because one, I know that my videos typically are on the longer side of things for YouTube, but I also know that I'm up to 6 hours and 50 minutes worth of footage. Woo! Which means that this is going to be a really long video. So if you made it to the end, thank you so much for donating your time to me, because I know that time is precious. And I just hope that you are feeling as fantastic as I am feeling right now. And I hope that you are having a fantastic day, fantastic week, fantastic month, fantastic year. And I hope that you are doing as fantastic as always. Bye everyone.